Ready to place your first NFL bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your bet today. I'm not really a Commanders fan, but they got the Giants and Bengals the next couple of weeks, so I am excited to see how Jaden Daniels handles those tests. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets instantly and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium.
TD, Tutty, take it to the house, in for 6, whatever you call it, touchdown. One thing's for sure, touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. On the ground, in the air, from the special teams or defense, we don't care how they score them. We want to bet on touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Jenkins. That's code Jenkins, Jenkins, for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Ready to place your first NFL bet? Try betting.
Welcome to Jenkins and Jones on the Volume Podcast Network. It is Friday, October 4th. We're just having a little spirited debate about the start time of the podcast.
Right. I'm hyperventilating.
Can we get going, guys? Can we get going? You recording, guys? The camera rolling? How are we looking, guys? Already? Can you run the ad, please? Okay. He's like, tighten up. He on our head. Golly.
John is saying the chat has gotten to Jackson. The chat has beaten Jackson into submission at trying to get us.
I think the chat's going to be on my side here, but yeah, you guys battle the chat. That's on you.
I feel like the chat enjoys a podcast where everyone is feeling lubricated at the beginning of the show. You know what I mean?
Wowzers, brother. It is Friday, I guess, though. You know what I mean?
All right. It is Friday, October 4th, as John just mentioned. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We have the worst movie idea ever. We've got some basketball. We got some baseball. We've got Juju Watkins being the supreme ball knower of her generation. And the correct way to handle conservative media operatives in your swing state. Analysis brought to you by Dragonfly Jonez. As always, Jenkins and Jones, hosted by Dragonfly Jonez, a.k.a. Tyler.
Hey, everybody. Have a gun.
LaJethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John.
What's that, Bubbas?
I'm Guardy B, a.k.a. Mike.
Motherfucking
Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
We're produced as always by the lovely and talented Jackson Saffron. It's the third double back. We only need the 2 double backs.
What's up?
And also produced by the equally talented, equally lovely Josh Rodriguez.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
The sleepier Tyler is, the more like realistic his "how you doing" sounds.
Yeah,
Are you
long
sleepy?
night. Nah, I was
What
just
was
up late
wrong?
as hell last night.
What were you doing?
That's every night, though, ain't it?
Just doing like some fall cleaning around the crib and shit. Nothing
You
spectacular.
really think you're me? You're doing
Wait.
cleaning at 1 o'clock in the morning. I feel you, brother.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what y'all do?
If I need to like calm my brain down, if I like work till 1 o'clock, which like I didn't last night, but I worked till midnight, then I will usually clean for like a half hour or something to just like settle everything down.
Is this the like pull out the fucking Comet clean, or is this like just straightening up the house clean?
Oh, just like, well, was cleaning out our sunroom and shit. That was like the real focus, like buffing floors and shit in there. So,
Oh, okay.
Oh, you were like,
Yeah.
I don't plug anything in. I'll say that. I'm not plugging anything in late at night. That's
fluffing the pillows up and put them in the right locations. You know what I mean?
I'm mostly picking up after my children is what I'm mostly doing.
Yeah.
Just like you, like, golly, why would you, unwrap a piece of gum and drop the wrapper right where you're standing? I don't think I ever
Crazy.
did that once in my whole life.
Trash can 3.5 feet away. They don't give a fuck about none of that. That ain't their business. You know what I mean? Crazy.
Let's start with, did y'all see, I know we were Nickelodeon kids. Did y'all see this? What's coming out with this Rugrats movie?
it's gonna be CGI and shit. Like,
Yeah, y'all watch Rugrats growing up?
Oh,
Of
hell
course,
yeah.
yeah.
Remember this?
Yeah.
Like they had the soundtrack to the
Bro,
movie
that-
was incredible.
Bro, that whole Nicktoons,
that shit was
dog,
crazy.
the whole Nicktoons drop, the first Nicktoons drops of Rugrats, Doug, and Ren and Stimpy. Come on, man.
Ooh, come on,
That's the
brother.
92 Dream Team, dog. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Big facts. They announced yesterday that there is going to be a Rugrats live action Rugrats adaptation with CGI babies.
I'm kind of cool on that. That sounds scary, honestly.
So adults CGI'd into babies is what you're saying?
Adult live action actors,
Whoa.
computer animated Rugrat babies.
That's going to be terrible.
Whoa.
That's gonna
That
be
sounds
horrible.
like that would fit Ren and Stimpy more. Like, do some weird shit like that with Ren and Stimpy, which was criminally underrated. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't want to. That's Rugrats. That sounds this off brand. You know what I mean?
Like, we have very creative people on the Zoom, and I don't think we could come up with a worse idea than that if we had like the rest of the day. Like Tommy Pickles' head CGI'd, like that head shape CGI'd into a live action
ass
movie.
head shape. Yeah. Hell no, man.
Cool on that, bro. Cool on that. Who's doing this? What company? What
Paramount.
production company? Oh man, come on, Paramount. I mean, this is what they put their money into. That's what's crazy. A lot of good movies aren't being made, but they're making this.
Yeah.
This is where we at. We gonna get into another discussion if we go that route, but it's sickening.
Yeah, this
It's not
feels like a
great.
movie you needed to have. I just looked up the article about it. I was just curious if there's any more information. It's one of those movies I feel like you need to have an all-star cast attached to it right now to have any sort of intrigue at all. And instead, they don't even have a single member of the cast mentioned. They're just like, yeah, they're making this movie.
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
It's going to be like B tier Saturday Night Live actors would be my guess. And then a computer animated. It's literally the thought of Tommy Pickles' head being CGI'd is like really like actually turning my stomach.
Some things need to stay 2D. You know what I mean? Like that needs to be a basic cartoon looking ass cartoon. You know what I mean? Like we don't need all the new tech with certain stuff. And
I don't
that's
even
one
want
of
the
them.
new color palette on that cartoon.
Right.
I want the 90s color palette. Like
Yeah,
you need the
right.
purple and orange and green shit everywhere. Like
Right,
that's the
right.
whole universe.
Facts.
All right. I don't know why I've just felt like that had to go at the top of the list. I just saw that shit yesterday and I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like,
I mean, it was important to us, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was an important show, G.
yeah.
And they're ruining it.
Yeah.
Ruining the sanctity of Rugrats. Really, though.
It does
For
feel like
real.
they're making a Jurassic Park movie where the dinosaurs are like evangelical preachers or something. It's just like, what? Like, what?
I don't know. I might watch this. You
Preacher
accidentally made a better idea. That was the worst idea you come up with, and I was like,
Tyler,
I'm
did you say the
intrigued.
Velocipaster?
The Velocipaster.
Bro, that's very 90s. You know what I mean? That's late night Cinemax. You know what I mean? Throw some titties in there. You feel me? Hey, bro.
All right. We have in the fallout of the Big Timberwolves Knicks trade, we do have new members of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and someone has already pointed out in the Jenkins and Jones mentions, and we're aware that it's just the timing of the screenshot. But in the timing of the screenshot, boy, does it not look like the new Timberwolves are excited about moving from New York to Minnesota. And I have to say, Timberwolves fans, one of the reasons people are running with that narrative is because it's very plausible to a lot of people that someone would be bummed out to move from New York to Minnesota. So, fellas, did you see that? And do you have any moments in your personal life where you relate to the faces that were being made in that photo?
Dog, it's like the more we find out about this trade, the more we realize nobody involved really wanted this shit. Like Randall said, he was blindsided. He never asked, to get out of New York. And going from New York to Minnesota, I mean, I'm sure Minneapolis is a great city, but it ain't New York if New York is your thing. And bro, and him and Donte were just up there. Someone said they look like Rory and Mal when they left the Joe Budden podcast. No, it looks like this is a trade that none of the players involved wanted, bro.
How was Randall blindsided about this? Like they've been talking about trading him for like a year and a half. Maybe going to Minnesota, that makes sense, but come on. He's been on the and he wasn't the best fit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not the best fit anywhere, honestly. I mean, it's the way he plays the game, but yeah, that's weird to say that. I get why Donte is like blindsided though. I mean, White Donte, only place he should play basketball is New York City in MSG. You know what I'm saying? Like that, he's made for that. So I get that. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I get it.
I saw
New
someone
York
say
New
it
York.
was
It's one New York in the whole world. Come on, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah.
I saw someone say it's like new job orientation phase. You're just like, can we get on with this already?
That's
supposed
probably accurate.
Supposed to be
That's
to be excited for the job. It's just like this part sucks. Do we have to do this? No, I don't want to answer questions about how excited I am to play in Minnesota.
I mean, regardless of how excited you are, that process isn't fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even if you love the job you're gonna get, it's like, come fuck out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I was about to say that, like, Mike was like, do you guys have any personal experiences relating to this? It made me, the new job orientation thing, the joke someone made yesterday, made me think about, I interned at ESPN one summer, and like, that's the coolest internship in the world for a 21-year-old wannabe journalist, right? Mm-hmm. But we still have to do like Disney orientation.
Oh,
I was like, this is, and they're all like, isn't it cool? You got, if you're a Disney employee, you get like all these Disney passes. And we're like, oh, really? That's cool. And they're like, yeah, you guys like can't leave your internships though. And they don't like hit until like 1 year in. So actually none of this actually applies to you guys. And we're like, why are we here? This is so stupid.
Well, legally, I do have to read you these these things. So sorry.
They're like, you do get a lot of free guest passes, though. Like, if we do what?
Makes no sense.
I think the only experience I have like that, because I generally have not worked for companies that have stuff like that, is when you coach youth sports, because of like liability and everything, there's like an increasingly larger set of like trainings and like all this other stuff you have to go through.
Yes.
And the sexual harassment and like child abuse trainings are like the most insulting things. Like, it's just like literally, like, I remember a question from this summer when I was coaching the All-Star team that was like, when is it appropriate to hit a child? Like, A, after they mess up. Like, B, if they haven't listened to you. C, never. It's like, G, I wonder which one.
We got to keep it a bean. This is the first generation where that doesn't make sense to ask. In every generation prior, that's an important question to ask these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, I was getting my ass whooped at school.
Yeah.
My principal was paddling me because I ain't want detention. You feel what I'm saying? Like, my mom signed off. Beat this nigga ass if he on that bullshit.
Dude, my grandpa was
your mom
black
out a
principal. We had a
permission
black
slip?
principal. We had a black principal though, so she wasn't signing off for a white man to get his issue.
My grandpa was the disciplined guy at school. What? My grandpa, both my grandparents and my mom's side were teachers, and my grandpa, for whatever reason, I think probably because he was like, also he might have done PE, or like he's also like a sports guy. He, like, for whatever reason, was the punishment guy, and so he had to like paddle students.
Feel about that?
Isn't that crazy?
How did he feel about that? Like, what was?
I don't think he really liked it. I don't think he really liked it. But like, he also grew up like.
When you're doing what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
He grew up pretty rough, so like, I think he is sort of like that. Kind of was a little bit sort of instilled in him. You know.
Okay. I mean, so it probably was a little normalized. Like, he probably didn't.
It was normalized. That's what I mean.
It was like, it wasn't weird for him.
It was just what he sort of had to do as part of his job. He was instructed to do that, and that was like, well, this is life, so I guess I got to do my job, type of thing. You know.
I can imagine doing that now.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? Like, are there places I wonder if, I mean, I was in Alabama, so it could still be happening in Alabama. They could still be whooping motherfuckers.
I spanked my kids one time, and I will never do it again. It was the word, like, it was like on a basic safety thing, trying to like get through, and it didn't happen. And it was like, I've told y'all how like calm and collected Vinny was, even as like a toddler. And he just looked at me and was like, he just had this look on his face. I was like, what the fuck am I? I was like, I'm never doing this shit again, bro. So I'll do anything else. I'll punch myself until it makes him uncomfortable enough to stop doing what I need him to stop doing. I'm never going to just be like, well, it's time for
run suicides till you pass out and make him watch. You know what I mean? Like,
That
is
would
what
fuck
I'll
him up,
do.
actually, too. That's
Oh,
what's
for
funny
sure.
about that.
But bro, like, yeah, back in the day, we were taught if you weren't whooping your kid, you were fucking up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now we have all this information. Like I said, we're, more intelligent, like when it comes to like, how we move emotionally, but also like the effects it has on kids. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I think it would be traumatizing for me to look Somi in her face and hit her.
Oh, you can't even imagine
her
it.
while she's crying.
Right. You literally can't even imagine it.
Like,
yeah, I spanked Vinny for like 4.5 seconds, bro.
Yeah. It was just,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd rather, you see what you did today? You see what you did today?
Liar, full liar, liar.
liar,
I'm
liar.
kicking my own ass.
Right? You made me hit myself. Yeah, ain't no way, dog. But that might traumatize. That would traumatize her too. That's not the answer. But I'd do that before I hit her for sure. Run into a wall. Head first, nigga. Like, ain't no way. I couldn't put my hands on her. Ain't no way.
Yeah, that shit, it's for sure. I feel like our generation has turned our back on that, which is a great thing because for one, the shit didn't work. And two, the whole thing is the whole framing of it, you're spanking them to prepare them for the real world when they grow up. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
We as kids who got our ass beat, none of us were getting beat thinking, well, I mean, I hate that this is happening, but mom's preparing me for the real world when I grow up. No. No 6-year-old fucking thinks that, and for one, they shouldn't because it's bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, right. They give kids they don't give kids enough credit for being smart. Kids don't buy into that bullshit that spanking them is preparing them, for consequences when they become an adult. Kids know I did something that made my parents mad, and they're taking it out on me.
And when they're
That's
mad,
what kids
when they're
understand.
mad, that's how they handle it. Right.
Yes. So no, yeah, fuck hitting your kids. Don't do that shit, bro.
That's a big thing. Of Shar's is like handling mistakes that kids make the way you would handle it if you made it as an adult. And that's like, that's her thing is like, if I drop a bowl, would you ever yell at me like for dropping a bowl? You'd be like, oh shit, we got to clean the bowl up. You know what I mean? It's like, so why like the kid drops a bowl, you're like, fuck, like I don't have time for it. Like it's just not how you like actually deal with shit. You know what I mean? And to Tyler's point, they're preparing you for a real world where what? You mess up and someone beats the shit out of you?
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Oh, you forgot to turn your report in at work. They're gonna beat the hell out of you. That's not the real world.
I don't think like the things I was doing as a kid were not necessarily like not doing homework. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was getting my ass whooped for. You know what I'm saying? It was for other shit. You feel me? But like ground the kid. Like grounding or take away privileges, which is what will mimic the real world. You know what I mean? Where you lose independence if you want some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way, like school is considered like work in my household. It was like, this is your job to do good at school, right? And if I didn't do homework, ain't no teacher ain't no boss gonna put their hands on me. I'm gonna beat that nigga ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drag that motherfucker all through that building. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm trying to imagine someone at your former employer like, oh, John forgot to send his thing in.
Not a soul. Not a soul, brother. I'm telling you, I'm wrecking everything. So I don't know what the fuck that was trying to mimic as far as the real life. I'll turn my homework in. Ain't no way. You feel me? But yeah, man. Like it just makes no sense. It just makes zero sense.
Here's a trip on the consequence thing, and I'll pose this to both of y'all as men whose opinions on parenting and fatherhood I like really genuinely respect. I've told y'all Vinny was like, we thought we were the best parents in the world because of how Vinny was. You know what I mean? We were like, that's all us. And then we had Maya, and you realize like, oh, that was all Vinny. Like we weren't doing any of that shit. Maya, when she was like 3 years old, we'd be like, okay, you got to eat you got to finish your dinner. Like, oh, you got to eat your vegetables or whatever. And she'd be like, no. And we'd be like, no, you got to do it or you're not going to get dessert. Okay. Like,
that's a trade-off I want to make.
Yeah. And then we'd be like, okay, well, you got to do it or you're going to have to spend the rest of your night in your room. She wouldn't even say, okay, she'd just get up and walk to her room. And we're looking at each other like, well, what the fuck do we do with this? Like she literally would be like, I'm willing to pay that price 100%. I'm not going to eat this shit. So whatever you need to do, you do it, but I'm not going to eat this shit.
I've made my decision. You got to make yours. You know what I mean? But the thing is, though, like you're telling her to go to her room, like her alone with that imagination. You just sent her to the movies.
That's all she wanted to do. Right.
You
Totally.
know what I mean? Like you made me do exactly what I wanted to do anyway.
So then I tried one time. I was like, she has a stuffed animal she really loves. I was like, well, I'm gonna take the stuffed animal away for a day, and she started sobbing. And Char was like, I don't think we could do that one. It's like, well, we don't have any leverage on her.
Mark that one out. Mark that one out. On to the next option, bro. It's crazy trying to figure that out. Find that balance. Like show me like we would tell her this. No more wolf stories in the house. Like she would love like Three Little Pigs, the Boy That Cried Wolf, all that shit. And so she started understanding what crying wolf was, right? And so I'm asking her like, yo, show me, I'm like, are you crying wolf? When she would like be, I don't want to say overly dramatic because I don't want to minimize her emotions, but you know what I'm saying? When she was like, what I thought was doing a little bit too much for the moment, you know what I'm saying? And she would like, tighten up, you know what I'm saying? But she later asked me like, Daddy, would you let the wolf hurt me? And I'm like, I would fucking kill that wolf if it came here. You know what I'm saying? Are you kidding me? Like there's no fuck that wolf. You know what I mean? Like, so like we no, and I realized it was actually scaring her. It wasn't like she was like understand. Yeah. So I mean, I should have known. She's 2 and she's almost barely 3. So so it's hard trying to find the things some things that work. It's you shouldn't be using, and other things just ain't. It's hard to find that balance.
Yeah. We're in a better spot with Maya.
You gonna
it does get better as they get older. I didn't know what to do with her when she was 3 years old, though, and I'm not embarrassed to say I had no idea what the fuck to do with her. All right. We have tomorrow the baseball playoffs start in earnest, and I am just basically requesting sympathy because I was really hoping the Padres would not beat the Braves, and they did. So it's Dodgers, Padres for the third time in 5 years. It's going to be fucking disgusting. I am horrified. So wish me luck. We also have Royals, Yankees, Mets, Phillies, and Tigers, Guardians. Gentlemen / Jackson / Josh, any thoughts on the baseball playoffs?
My thoughts are go Royals because it's a fuck the Yankees forever. And my question as a extreme casual now, Mike, is I saw Clayton Kershaw is like hurt the other day, or he was hurt recently. Is he hurt now? Is he good still? Is he going to pitch in the playoffs, or what's the deal with?
I think they're like holding out hope, but it's he's not currently on the plans.
Okay, got it. Yeah, then it's just go Shohei, go Mookie, and go Royals, I suppose.
Okay.
What is it about the Padres? Like, is it the bullpen? Is there something specific about the team that makes it difficult for the Dodgers, or makes you uncomfortable?
They just have the vibe right now. You know what I mean?
All day on the run. So they haven't been as good throughout
their
the year.
Their offense is terrifying. I think their starting pitching is better than ours. I like our bullpen better than theirs. But they just have that like, and the two teams hate each other. They're like genuinely is like bad blood between them. There's former Dodgers and the Padres who hate the Dodgers. They're doing the whole beat LA chant, which I think is like the lowest expression of human creativity and intelligence.
How does it go? Is it just like beat LA? That's it?
Over and over again. Yeah. People.
He's just mad because it worked for the Celtics in 2008.
You can blame Boston sports.
He's just a little mad about that.
Blame Boston sports for that.
Boston sports for it. It's just the dumbest shit. Like, and it's a white person chant too. It's like the most like, bah, 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 bah. Like it sounds like a baby hitting a fucking pot with like a spoon. You know what I mean?
You know whose chant was crazy? I don't know if you could do it anymore though, but the Braves.
Yeah, I've been in the stadium doing it.
Bro, I went to a Braves game and they hit that motherfucker.
It goes hard in there, man.
Ooh, that motherfucker.
It goes crazy in there.
In the old
Chiefs
stadium?
still do that?
In the old stadium?
Florida State still does that shit every fucking week, dog.
That's crazy.
Crazy, but
hand chops and everything.
They do the same thing in the Braves. They do the hand chop and everything.
Yeah.
Man, that motherfucker would get to racket.
Yeah, I think I was there in 2017 or 18. They were still doing it.
Though, you know what I mean? But God damn.
But I respect what you're not saying as a cultural expression. You're saying the actual melody is like within a range that baseball fans can hit. So it sounds good.
Nelly sampled it, right? Didn't he shake your tail feather?
Oh yeah. That song was weak though. Shake your tail feather. Shake your tail feather. Lord Jesus. The first album was credible though. It was a classic, and then it started to get weird a little later in his career. But anyway,
that
Get
man
your
said,
eagle on.
"Yo,
Come
so
on,
your
man."
mama half reindeer.
Oh man, what? He didn't have to do that. What? He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. He
Is
didn't have to
that
do
your
it.
ass? That man saw an ass so fat. He said, "Oh, your mama gotta be half reindeer."
What?
But also, whoever has said reindeers had fatties? He didn't say horse. The motherfucker say horse ass. Horses got donks. Nigga, like fucking reindeers.
I feel like he
Like,
was
that don't
for
make
sure
no
watching
sense.
a Christmas movie when he came up with that line. Like he was watching the reindeer like bounce in the sky, like damn,
Right.
like even in the
That
air. Like,
motherfucker.
Right.
Murphy Lee
Look at
killed
that.
it on that song
You
though.
see, look at it, Murphy Lee. You
Murphy
see
Lee
that
killed
motherfucker?
You're saying Rudolph is the Lola Bunny of reindeer? That's what you're saying?
Lola used to go, hey, bro. Yeah. Lola went crazy. I think I tweeted that shit out. You know, and it was got a lot of action. This doing a panty. Niggas was just at home.
People love
Motherfuckers,
Lola
yeah.
Bunny.
the horniest
Oh,
6
man.
months of human history.
Yes.
I mean, I'll never forget the outrage when they changed Lola Bunny and people were like, "How dare they take away the hot bunny?"
Rabbit tits, bro. What the fuck? How could they downsize Lola Rabbit's chest? I can't believe it. People
Bring the
really were gonna
titties
boycott
back.
the
People
movie.
Bring
were
the
so
bunny boobs
mad.
back.
In the children's movie.
I'm gonna
Nasty.
take my kid to see this movie, and if there isn't something in it for me,
Right,
I'm walking out.
Right.
We were kids when we first saw this shit, right? So like it made sense. For you
Yeah.
to stand on that as an adult, call the people, nigga. You know what I mean? Mr. Officer, get this nigga out of here, bro. Ain't no
It's
way.
like when Fox News got mad that the sexy Eminem was gone or something like that. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
M&M.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Carlson.
Oh yeah, it
a
was
lot
Tucker
of it.
Carlson, wasn't it? Was mad
Yeah.
that they took
Classic.
the fishnets off the green M&M or something.
Yeah, he was
That's a
home,
freaky frog.
goddamn.
That's a one.
That's
freaky
a freaky frog.
That commercial came in and that motherfucker. He couldn't wait for the commercial to hit. That motherfucker. Speed bagging them nuts, nigga. Couldn't
He
wait.
watched the Super Bowl alone just so make sure he had some space.
Couldn't
It was
wait.
fucking circa 2004. His family was in the other room. All they heard was that TiVo back 30 seconds button. Whoop, whoop.
Oh,
Anyways,
shit,
we're talking
nigga.
about baseball. Golly.
Yeah, go Yankees.
We
I mean, I
moving
might
to
just
some
leave
more
baseball on
interesting
here as a
ones,
regular topic because every time we put baseball on here, it leads us to a more interesting conversation in baseball. All right, we do have we have to pay tribute to Juju Watkins, future GOAT and supreme ball knower, the number one ball knower of her generation. Was posed a series of questions about who would you rather have taking the last shot in a playoff game, LeBron versus essentially like the other players in the top 10 in basketball history. And she did think about it. She didn't just stand there and say LeBron, but she filled out, she didn't get fooled by the Scantron, by the multiple choice test where they try
Yeah,
and fuck you
yeah.
up like, they're not going to think it's 10 trues in a row. You know, she stuck with it and she said Braun on every single one of those. How much more respect did you gain for Juju Watkins's ball knowing ability?
I love Juju, man, and she's just endearing herself to me even more because my GOAT is her GOAT. But bro, she was speaking the truth. LeBron has the most playoff game winners in NBA history. He's got 5. Michael Jordan's got 3. Right? Like I think there's only been like 50 playoff game winners of all time, and he's got 10% of them, you know. So Bron is different, bro. Like, I mean, the fact of the matter is Bron has hit more playoff game winners. The whole mythology about Bron not being clutch, that's just propaganda, bro. That motherfucker is clutch. Like, look at his game 7 numbers, you know, like I'm saying, leads of NBA history and playoff game winners. That motherfucker shows up, bro.
I mean, of course, a person as good at basketball as she is would look at basketball in a way where she's relying on historical fact and not just emotion. You know what I mean? They almost got her with Kobe being she's from LA. It makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, G, like, I mean, come on, man. Juju's a GOAT. You know, she knows a GOAT when she sees one. You feel me?
She also has a game that allows her to be one of the players who doesn't hold it against Braun, that he doesn't shoot into it. He doesn't run into a triple team and just throw something up. You know what I mean? Like she actually understands the game, the poetry of the game, the movement, where the ball is supposed to go. And I think that, that's what I love seeing her. Because, we talk about this about like her generation's love of Paul George. I think, they're correct. Paul George is a great player. I understand what they love about Paul George's game. But to see a player of her caliber understand what makes Braun, not just like, oh, he's because you kind of can't imagine what a 20-year-old kid feels about Braun now. He's been the best player for your entire life. So I would understand seeing him as an old dude or being like, we got to turn the page to a new generation. I'm rooting for someone to beat this old dude, whatever. But she, I feel like, has the ability to truly understand all of those aspects and reject the like first take shit, which gives me hope to see that from a young superstar player.
Like she gets buckets, and like people that get buckets like her usually are approaching the game in a very thirsty manner on the offensive side. That's not how she does it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She approaches the game like she finds her spot. She's very strategic in how and where she gets to on the court before she takes shots and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's Braun. A Braun 40 ball doesn't feel like anybody else's 40 ball. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not taking like ridiculous shots in order to get buckets in a thirsty way. He approaches the game in it's very high IQ basketball. And she does the same thing. So I get it. I mean, I don't think she passes in the way that he does, but the approach to scoring is very similar.
Yeah. And I think that's what I think you're going to see her working on that aspect of her game. Cause I think models the person that she's modeling herself after,
Tyler, as our LeBron James historian, can you name all 5 of his playoff game winners? I can think of 3 of them off the top of my head. I can't feel like I'm missing some.
All right, he had the one against Orlando in 2009. Yep.
My favorite one.
The one against Toronto, which was just fucking that series. He was just doing shit that series.
That one was insane. That one was so just I'm flexing on y'all.
Yeah, he was clowning. He had one against the Pacers. 2018.
Those are the 3 that I have. Yeah.
2018, the best postseason of his fucking career. Best regular season Braun was 2012, 2013 Braun. Best postseason Braun was 2018 Braun. It's not even close. The other 2. See,
I can't think of the other 2.
I have the other 2.
He's had a bunch of
Detroit.
Like early in his career, did he hit one against Detroit?
He had a layup in Washington, and he had
that's right,
3 in Chicago.
Yep.
Nice. God, those are all sick. The Magic one was so sick.
Was it off? Okay, the Magic, was that off the glass?
No, that was the catch and shoot 3 atop the key. The off the glass was against the Raptors. The Raptors, he's like going left, right hand.
I remember that. Yeah, it fades out of bounds with that one.
Crazy.
For some reason, I thought I remember the Orlando one was off the top, and they lost that series, right?
They did.
Right?
2000.
But I thought the top of the key one. I thought that was off glass too. But I remember him catching that shit at the top of the key. I didn't remember the Bulls one.
Bulls one was cold because it came after Derrick Rose had one in the game before, and the Cavs were down.
Right.
So to me, that's one of his more underrated ones.
This is the season he guarded Derrick Rose. This is Derrick Rose's MVP season, and he guarded Derrick Rose.
No, that was his first year with the Heat. That happened. He was in Cleveland. This was his second go around in Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Josh, I didn't know you had an encyclopedia brain.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I guess I do.
That was pretty good over there.
I used to defend Braun all the time, especially during what Tyler was saying. Like there was a narrative going around like he just wasn't clutch, and it drove me crazy just because of like three months in Miami where he struggled late in games. All of a sudden, people want to act like he's not one of the most clutch players ever.
Do you and Tyler ever like I gotta go back and do a Twitter search. I wonder if y'all ever like encountered each other. Like
we might
have like 2 like Vietnam vets bumping into each other, like recognize each other's hats, like yeah. 775th, huh? Like
I'm
back
a big
to
Braun
back
guy.
biting people off, you know what I'm saying?
The bad boys with the
right. Beat niggas ass too. Get your issue. You hear me?
Speaking of beating the ass of people who need their ass beat, JJ Abbott tweeted out a video that I saw because Tyler quote tweeted it, but it's got like 3 million views on Twitter. Of in Charleroi, Pennsylvania, a right-wing content creator was going around trying to get anti-immigrant quotes for his whatever the fuck he was making. And man, did he get his ass whooped verbally.
I love it.
What happened?
Tyler, describe what happened in the clip and why you think it's the perfect way to handle a certain type of political discourse.
Listen, bro, for one, I do not believe in engaging in good faith dialogue with people like that. I think those people, those citizens of that town, handled it perfectly. So this dude went up to him and said, "Bro, you out here drinking Monster, you embarrassing your family. I know your mother's ashamed of the man you became." He said, "I bet you don't have a girlfriend. Call your girlfriend right now." And the pained laugh that he that you know that motherfucker, that phone is dry as shit. We all do that. And then there was this older white lady who said, "Get the fuck out of my town. I will beat your ass." That's perfect. That's exactly how we need to handle people like this. People, and I feel like so many people just think that these people are genuinely looking for a debate where their point of view can be changed. And no, if you're coming to a small town and your whole goal is to talk about how Haitian immigrants are ruining small town America, you do not deserve to have a good faith conversation with anybody. They need to clown your ass, and you need to get threatened to get your ass beat by a 70-year-old woman. That's exactly how shit should go, bro.
Was this live? How did it? Because I can't imagine him actually putting it out into the world, like going for a totally different purpose.
No, I think
I don't think it was live.
I think there's an engagement addiction.
Oh wow, he just showed himself getting dunked on.
And also maybe a like, oh, look at how delusional these people are that they don't understand that the Haitian, legal, by the way, legal Haitian immigrants. But the two other underrated parts of it that I wanted to point out that Tyler didn't mention is there's a white dude smoking a cigarette in a fucking camo hat standing in the background when they pan the camera around, who's just tapping his cigarette, just enjoying the show, bro. It's like they might have turned him from a conservative voter to a Democrat voter just off
the
watching
energy
the
alone,
strength of the
vibes, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I can get with that.
The other thing was Tyler mentioned the noise the dude made when he said, "Call your girlfriend right now." After he made the noise, he said, and I quote, "Fair enough."
That is a man who has firmly come to peace with the fact that he will never have a girlfriend. Fair enough. You got me.
Fair enough.
Did it show that
the lip was there? You took it. What can I say?
Fair enough is crazy.
Fair enough.
God bless, except not.
Did y'all put that in the group chat?
I just texted it to you.
Okay.
I should have put it in the group chat, but I just pulled it straight from the Dragonfly Jonez timeline. All right, I think that's all the time we got. Thanks for joining us. Whether you're listening as a podcast or following along live on YouTube, if you are listening to the podcast, youtube.com/@JenkinsandJones, come hang out with us. Jackson, anything from the chat before we get out of here?
The chat was mostly just reminiscing about their childhood trauma during the childhood beating segment of the pod. Classic
catharsis.
stuff. Everyone sort of, it was like a little group therapy session, as our chat tends to be, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude has, I just saw looking at the video, incel written all over him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
He's giving up. And good for him, because you're wasting your time.
Oh, Lord. All right. We'll be back on Sunday night. Very special episode coming Sunday.
Yes.
We will talk football, but most importantly, we've got our Love is Blind recap. I know Shar and I are about halfway through. Have y'all started it yet? Where are we at?
No, I haven't.
No,
I
me and
heard
wifey
it gets
tapping
pretty
in.
toxic, though.
Yeah, me and wifey tapping in tonight. It's gonna be our little weekend binge.
I've watched like 2.5 episodes.
That's exactly where Shar and I are. We have like 20 minutes left in the third episode.
Yeah.
Is it 5? Is it 5 episodes?
6.
Oh, wow.
Get your binge on before Sunday.
It's a lot. I know it's a lot. I will say this though,
Are these hours, right? They're hours, right?
Oh yeah, full hours.
Yeah.
Some of them are 70 minutes.
But I would say I'm enjoying it because last year when we were doing the recaps, Shar and I watched like recap videos of the pod episodes just because it was like 6-7 hours. We just didn't have the time, and then we've watched everything that came out after that. But Tyler's right. The pod episodes are a trip. It is a fucking trip. And like the dynamic between the like dudes and the ladies in their own quarters is a fucking trip. And like just watching not like the highlight reel, but the actual development of the conversation is like, it's a full on couple that Char's like wants to befriend. You know what I mean? She's like rooting for him and like fucks with him really heavily. I think Jackson feels the same way.
Yeah, they're fire. I was wary at first. I did not like dude at first, but then he's come around.
Yeah, for a good reason. But I think that's it. Like, it seems like more than other reality shows, this is kind of how Tyler sold it. Like, they lean into the reality show stuff, but they're also pretty fair, it feels like, on like letting people look like normal human beings. They're not like trying to just pull out the weirdest possible moments. They let the people have their own. Those people are going to have those moments.
They know those weird moments are coming. You know, they don't need to push too hard for those.
Right.
Like I told you, it's perfect couple content. It's perfect TV to watch with your wife because you're dealing with a bunch of idealistic lovers, you know, lover profile folks who have this idealistic notion of what love should be, and they're going out there and they're finding out in real time shit does not work out the way that you planned it out. You know what I mean? So I love it. It's the only reality show I watch, bro.
Same.
Any point in your life would you have done this?
Nah.
I don't think so.
For one, I need to know that you like me physically. I don't need that to be a maybe or a possible. Like bro, like I'm old school. I never did the dating apps. Like I walked up to women and I, introduced myself and talked to them and got the number and got to know them. Like that's how I found girlfriends way back in my day, So
I mean, that's the same thing, bro. I've never been on any of that. It was like every girl I asked out was someone I've been friends with for a year. It was basically like, are you attracted to me? Like I don't need to do the love is blind. It's like I got good relationships with like a lot of different girls or women or whatever, and then it's like, okay, then it progresses. I couldn't do it, number one, John, because of the privacy aspect, and then number two, because of what Tyler said. It's like I have no issue getting to know and becoming close with women. You know what I mean? So it's not really about the like blind love thing. Like I don't need to participate in that part of the experiment. I don't feel like.
So weird that you think like producers would be able to pick out somebody for you.
Yeah.
Like what are the and you're walking through life living, and you could do that yourself. And you think randomness
people are bad at it though. Y'all
answer.
Have friends who are bad at that shit, right? Who are like good people, and you're like they should be with someone that you like, but they just can't do it.
We would just my friends and I were just talking about one this weekend. We're like, she can't find the right one. She just can't.
Is that
do
what,
it.
John?
All my niggas is hoes, bro. They ain't had no problem. They was just St. Louis was crazy out there.
We have male and female friends, and we've actually set a couple people up successfully. I think Shar and I have a pretty good like sense of that. You know what I mean? But like, we have friends who are attractive, but I say this: if you're looking for a real relationship, I think it's hard as fuck right now. I mean, really,
I think it's different. I think it's different in this generation. I think it's different at obviously our age, but when our 20s, like, I didn't know people who were like. I remember I was celibate for like a year and a half, but I had a girlfriend. Like we was on some weird church shit. And eventually I was like, yo, I can't do this shit no more. This is crazy.
Year and a half is a good time, brother.
That's a lot.
I mean, that's more than a good time, nigga. That's crazy. I wasn't. She was celibate. I wasn't.
Yo.
You feel me? I'm just saying, nigga. That was in my 20s. That's wild. But I mean, I tried it. I tried it for a little bit, and I was like, nah. But
how long?
But yeah,
I didn't want to ask it, but
yeah. I feel like back then, like nobody was involuntary. Nigga, the nerds was fucking. There was no reason for somebody not to. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I'm not saying my niggas hoes. I'm just being silly. Like, I don't really think people. I didn't really know people that couldn't find somebody else. You know what I mean? But I feel like how we used to go up and talk to chicks, you feel me? Like, holler at women and try to get to like that's not even I don't even know if that's really acceptable in certain situations now. Like, you feel me? Like, I'd be at the grocery store, go to be at Kroger's and be like, oh, shit. You feel me? Like, I might not see this person again. You know what I mean? Like, I did say this. I can't find her on Google. It's no like, hey, I saw this person.
Google,
do your thing, Twitter. You know what I
That
mean?
girl at Kroger yesterday.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like you gotta take advantage of that. So like it was totally different back then. That you can't even I don't even know like if people are even doing that in public anymore. And
You've
also,
really been out of the game for a while. It would not be Google, it would be Instagram, but it was a good effort.
Okay.
It was a good faith effort.
Cool. Yeah, you know, I'm
But
it
is. I'm glad I'm very happy that I got to skip that whole thing. I think it's Tarico Hairline, our guy Trey, who is one of my favorite all-time tweets. That said, all of us who found a spouse before the rise of the dating apps, look at it like we got the last boat out of Vietnam, like. Because you look at that shit now from our perspective, and you're like, that looks like hell, dog. I mean, with all due respect.
I tried the date naps, bro. And I think I had to app like I went on 2 dates. I had to app like a week and a half, bro. Nah, got rid of that motherfucker quick. Went right back to Instagram. Ain't no point, dog. That shit is nasty, bro. Like the energy was nah.
Hey, if you're out there and you're a good person, yeah, you're spinning your wheels a little bit. Ask your friends to set you up, man. If you got like, because I do think there's a certain like energy. I'm not one of those like the vibration people, but like John, you just put the video out about Dre, right? The first time you hung out with Dre and his girlfriend, you were like, oh, these people they've been together for 400 years, right?
For sure.
You could, and I just feel like you can, if you've been in like healthy relationships, I do feel like you can just kind of feel it. You know what I mean?
Also, I feel like it's so important that energy you get from somebody in person. You know what I mean? Like, not even like, I'm not talking about like how, like the conversation, I'm like the feeling you have. There's a particular feeling that is not described in words or, like it's like you feel a certain attraction that is inexplicable. That I think that's necessary. You know what I mean? That has to be there for there to be like a real chance at a relationship. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if I don't have that, like, oh shit, like the first time I met Rather, you feel me? Like, I remember we had talked online or whatever, but I was like, I wonder how I feel in person. I remember I was nervous as fuck, went to a bar, got a drink, which was like, let me, round these edges a little bit, nigga. I'm uptight like a motherfucker. You feel me? And I went and saw her. I walked out and she was outside of the art spot, right? And I saw her. I was like, nah, I need another one. Fuck you, man. Turned around, got another one, came in. We was Gucci. You feel me? The next day I saw her, we was together for 10 hours. You know what I mean? Like going to Stone Mountain City, all that shit. But like, I need to feel that. Like that's a good sign. You know what I mean? And you can't feel that online. You're not gonna feel that type shit. Like you need to be alive in person to feel shit like that. You know?
I think it actually kind of comes into the conversation we have about AI. Like data points are not the same thing as experiences. Like think about whatever the thing the thing you love the most, right? Like it's October. I'm watching a lot of horror movies right now. I love horror movies. You know how many people there are who love horror movies that I would detest hanging out with? Like, you know how many 49er fans or Dodger fans there are that I would never want to spend 5 minutes with, much less like a whole date or a month of my life. Like, it's just not the way to.
Yeah, it's pretty simple that personality does not equal interests. Like, period.
No. Or even like good
and
looks
also
too,
how
like,
people would describe their own personality is oftentimes more of an indication of their personality than what they're describing. You know what I mean? Like, which is one of the things I really love about Love is Blind, because I'm very interested in the gap between how people present themselves or think about themselves and who they actually are. And there's a handful of people on this show that are like fucking, like, you just want to like take just look at
rip the mask off, dude.
I just want to see what's happening in that crazy ass brain, bro.
Dude, speaking of, glad we got back to Love is Blind, because you guys, John and Tyler, should not do this for the purpose of our show. But I saw on TikTok there was a couple who was putting like a blanket over the TV, so that they were playing Love is Blind along with the show, and they were like taking notes and trying to describe what they thought people looked like.
They said,
like, that
fuck dramatic irony. They said, we don't fuck with dramatic irony at all.
I was like, that is so funny. I love if you were like just watching it with your partner and didn't have a podcast to come recap it on. That would be such a fun way to watch the show.
Damn, that would be interesting. I might try that the next season. Actually, I kind of fuck with that idea. All right, that's all the time we got. We'll be back Sunday night for our football and Love is Blind recap. See y'all then. Bye.
Bye.